All right, welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone, and today we're talking about Heroinburg. Yes, it's a show that you've probably not heard of, but we're going to discuss it because it's actually a ton of fun, and I think you guys would really like it. So, we're working with the word heroine and the word berg. Heroine as in a heroine, a female hero, right? There's an E there, not the drug. This is not a show about all the heroin use in Pittsburgh. It's actually about female superheroes in Pittsburgh. And it's a really delightful show that's brought to my attention. They sent me some of the episodes and to let me watch it and see what I thought. And I think it is a ton of fun. Now, one of the really fun parts about it, right, this is definitely a project that these people are very passionate about. And that passion shows straight from the beginning. And now as they've gone on, they've clearly tweaked some things, made some things better, possibly had access to a larger budget. And it's just gotten better and better as the season goes on. So there are 13 episodes out right now. And the 13th one is this big, exciting finale. That's super cool. As you can see, I have the t-shirt. They got great merchandise. They're really excellent branding all across the board. So what we're talking about is a lot of lady superheroes, right? And the way they set this up, they're like, we're not going to take ourselves super seriously. We're just going to lean heavily into camp. So you have a lot of these ridiculous glam shots of panning up over the super heroines' bodies. You have a lot of, especially in the earlier ones, a lot of the heroines, or a lot of the villains as well, just really like to touch themselves for no apparent reason, which is kind of fun. The dialogue is purposefully overly expository and delivered in just like an on-the-nose campy manner, like, oh. So the conceit of each episode basically is there's these two people with different goals, and they end up getting superpowers from a random meteor that emanates dark energy over the city, and then they become superpowered. And one of my favorite things that every episode has is them waking up from their uncomfortable sleep where they've acquired powers, suddenly discovering they have powers, and just intuitively knowing exactly what those powers are and what's happening like on the molecular level of those powers. That for me is one of the most fun parts about this, is someone just being like, oh, I can manipulate magnetic waves using my mind. How about that? Oh, I'm repairing your cellular energy using the lasers from my hands. So that's super fun. I really enjoy that. Now, what's interesting about this show is the approach it takes of interweaving popular culture and politics into its narratives. Now, the cool thing about this, the really great thing about the show is you have just tons of different types of people in it. To a point where you're like, are we doing the forced diversity thing, or are we actually doing it in a very satirical way that makes a commentary on it? Because you have things like, you'll have someone come up and say, oh, it's great to see that there's an Arabic superhero in the world now, or finally, this neighborhood's been missing an Indian superwoman. And they do definitely cast, a bunch of different types of people, different body shapes. And one of the really cool things about this show, too, is they put every body shape into the tight spandexy suit, right? They're celebrating all shapes and sizes of women, because if there's anything that I know about men, it's that they like women. And some men like really skinny women, and some men like really curvy women, and this show has all of the women, and it celebrates all of their bodies, right? Obviously, there's no one who's like, I am a land whale, because that would just be way too expensive to put fabric on them. But it's like, look, I am a curvy lady. Here is my body. You like that? Yeah, you like that. So that's where we're coming to this question of woke or not woke, though, is because you have this really interesting balance in this show of, look at us, we're doing diversity. You guys like that, right? But with that level of, like, facetiousness in it, that level of satire in it, but you also have this heavily apparent male gaze of like, let me look at your body is the most important thing in this show. So there's definitely themes and ideas of female power, of women being the powerful ones. There are definitely some very silly bad guys who are like, I represent toxic masculinity. And so it really begs the question, is this show doing a good job of satirizing woke culture? Or is it straying into being too woke? Or is it straying into being too, whatever the opposite of woke is? Traditional? I don't know. So that's the question that I would love you guys to ask watching the show. Now, there are many other excellent things about the show. One of my favorite things is the music. So you heard a little bit of the theme song for the show itself, which is actually something from the 80s that they put their own lyrics to, which is a lot of fun. Now, they use some Creative Commons stuff in it as well. But one of the really awesome things they do is you'll hear actual songs like by bands in it. And I asked them, I was like, where did these come from? these are all the artists who are working in the, like, any actor, if they are in a local band and stuff like that, those actors, they take their music and they highlight it and showcase it in the episodes themselves, which I think is super cool. So whether or not you enjoy the show, whether or not you like the premise, I mean, you should obviously like the premise to watch it. It's a fun premise. It's super camp. It's like Power Rangers become self-aware. And one of the beautiful things about that is that the way it utilizes its community, the way it shoots in the community, it works in the community, it addresses the community, it uses things like, oh, you guys are in a band, let's have a song. Episode 1 is obviously the roughest one because it was their first one, but it has this song called, like, Knocking People Over, that's just during a montage of someone just knocking people over, and it's probably one of my favorite things that I've seen in cinema to date. So here's more reasons you should check this show out. First of all, answer the question, woke or not woke. Do we have a show that correctly satirizes this diversity of woke culture while still actually being diverse? Do we have a show that just does a bad job of it because it's just not good enough to be doing things right? I personally really enjoyed in the last episode some of the horrible accents. They were really fun for me. And again, self-aware on that. They're not trying to be like this top-notch whatever. They're leaning into the camp, which is a lot of fun. So, yes, let's answer that question. Woke, not woke. Are we doing this right? Are we doing this wrong? What's that tightrope? So you guys got to go check it out and let me know what you think. It's available on the interwebs. I'm pretty sure if you just type in Heroinburg, you can find it places. I believe you do have to pay for the episodes, but it's worth it, so you should do that. Now, other reasons you should see this. If you guys like this show, if this is something where you're like, this is cool, we want to see more of this, I have an opportunity to interview some of the ladies who are playing the heroines on Heroinburg. So if you guys go check it out, let me know who you want to see. We will do a live interview with the actresses from Heroinburg. As you can see, they're these wonderful, beautiful, talented femmes that are super cool and would be super fun to talk to and pick their brains about this whole excellent show. The other reason you should go see it is so you can decide that you want one of these. These are awesome Heroinburg stickers that I am going to give away to you. But you have to do two things for me. First thing you have to do is watch an episode, any episode, right? And shoot me an email, me.mindlessentertainment@gmail.com. So that's the second thing. So first thing, watch the episode. Second thing, shoot me an email. Let me know which episodes you watched, what you liked about it and or did not. Send me your address and I will send you one of these. The first 3 people to do that will receive their very own Heroinburg sticker. So why am I doing this? Am I just doing this? Am I just talking about this because somebody sent me a cool t-shirt and some stuff to watch? No. I mean, that's part of it. If you guys have cool projects you're working on and you want me to take a look and give it a review, I'm more than happy to do it. I'm doing this because I support filmmaking at this independent level, right? Filmmaking where you don't have oversight from a corporation, from the Hollywood, from Disney that tells you you have to do it this way, you can't do it that way. Are there problems with this show? Of course there are. They have obviously minimalist setting, which I think is really cute the way they do it though. They're like, here, we'll just make a sign. Now we're in a police department. They have occasional issues with editing and sound. I think the editing could be a little tighter, a little snappier. There are definitely some sound moments that, and there's occasional acting moments. There's some moments where the acting, just even with the camp and with the purposeful, overly expository, some of the actors could lean into it a little bit harder. So it's not a perfect piece, but it's an independently produced piece of work that's allowed to speak its mind and be whatever it wants to be without oversight, without anybody telling it what to do. So guys, I really, really encourage you to check out Heroinburg and let me know what you think. Like I said, the first 3 people to watch an episode and shoot me an email, get one of these awesome stickers for free. Yes, you can just go to www.heroinburg.com in order to check out an episode. So definitely do that and let me know what you think of the show. Guys, if you like this video, click the button. If you want more people to know about Heroinburg, share this video. And if you want to make sure you always catch me when I'm talking at you, make sure you click the notification bell. All right, so comments below. Are you interested? Are you going to check it out? Have you seen it? What do you think? If you do, stay engaged, guys. That's important, and that's all. All right, so she's living in Heroinburg. The end.